Welcome to the Future World Vision Virtual City Explorer, an immersive journey through the next 50 years of urban evolution. Let's get started with the floating city. What begins in 2030 as an ocean development zone for sustainable energy, trade, and aquaculture operations becomes a proving ground for the resiliency of floating infrastructure in response to sea level rise. And by 2050, an expansive archipelago supports over 100,000 people drawn by the diverse opportunities of this innovative city. Let's take a closer look at the floating city in the year 2050. Built upon interlinked floating foundations and breakwaters that absorb, distribute, and capture wave energy, the city has grown in stability and efficiency as it has grown in size. A towering transit station at the center of the island connects autonomous land, sea, and air vehicles. The floating port has expanded to the east, receiving mega vessels and fostering manufacturing and technology industries nearby. Throughout the main island, residential communities have easy access to recreation and green space. Further offshore, autonomous kelp farms have become ocean forests, rich with ecological diversity, monitored by a vast network of sensors. Taking a look at the city's waste management infrastructure, we can see a resilient, modular approach, functioning on a neighborhood-by-neighborhood basis, while linking to a citywide matrix for redundancy. This aqueous urban landscape flows with data, just as it flows with people. Now, let's head back to 2030 to witness the city's evolution from the human scale. The first foundational platforms accommodate housing and logistics units to support operations throughout the ocean development zone. Energy and shipping interests take advantage of government incentives, and the first inhabitants of this floating island are the workers building it. Temporary port structures receive small components, while large pre-assembled ballasts and foundations are brought to the open water and moored in place for workers to complete the final construction processes. Expert welders, assisted by underwater drones and ROVs, repair the occasional damage to platform structures caused by boat collisions or hydrogen-induced cracking. Further out to sea, kelp elevators and suspended fisheries take advantage of new innovations in deep water aquaculture. And researchers install sensors for an ocean observatory that will monitor the surrounding ecology and the impacts of industrial development. Jumping forward to 2040, it is immediately evident that the resiliency of the floating settlement has created a greater sense of permanence. By witnessing this era as it faces a storm, we can see how every aspect of the residential and public structures are designed with consideration for the challenging conditions of life at sea. Modular apartment complexes are protected by automated shutters from flying debris and can seal watertight should they be submerged. This focus on safety is exemplified by the high-occupancy storm shelters at the heart of the island, which accommodate inhabitants throughout the region, and on calmer days serve as the center for community and public events. What may look like a frightening and destructive storm is in fact a boon for energy, which is captured by wave oscillation and current turbines and stored in grid-scale batteries. The final stop on our journey takes us to the vibrant center of the floating city in the year 2050. The city has grown vertically, gaining density and accessibility. As the economic opportunities of the city diversify, so too do the inhabitants. Communities take pride in their trailblazing lifestyles that transition between land and sea with casual confidence. Energy capture, desalination, and organic growth are woven into the textures of the city's streets, while multimodal transportation networks fade into the backdrop of largely pedestrian neighborhoods. There is a collective consciousness with the surrounding ecology, which thrives beneath the surface. This underwater extension began as stabilization, storage, and transportation infrastructure. But as construction methodologies and materials continue to improve, the inhabitants' desire to live and play at increasing depths has grown. It's really no surprise, for as we witness the interplay of autonomous maintenance drones and schools of wild fish swim across the inverted skyline of the floating city, it is all too clear that the challenges we face in our world today hold incredible possibilities for our world tomorrow. Thank you for visiting the floating city and taking the time to glimpse at what the coming decades may have in store for infrastructure and urban life. We hope you return to see the ongoing evolution of the American Society of Civil Engineers' future world vision.